Mwaiseni, hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've been watching my previous videos. Thank you so much if you have been doing that, and to anyone who's new, I really hope you like the content that I've got. In this video I'm going to be talking about saving money, saving tips and saving hacks, as I said that I was going to do in my last video. So I'm going to get right into it. I don't want it to be a long ass video, so here we go. Tip number one is really easy. It's basically save the change. This is basically rounding up your purchases to the nearest pound whenever you are shopping in a shop or online. So I know that Lloyds do this and Halifax do this as well. I'm pretty sure other banks do it as well. You might have to find out from your bank if they do this and activate that option, because it's a really good way to save money. You won't even notice the money that is going away. Like sometimes it's pennies, sometimes it can be a few pounds if you've done a few trips to the shop or you've done a little bit of shopping within a specific period of time. You won't notice it as it's come out of your account, but you will notice it when it's in your nominated savings account. And there is apps that will let you round up purchases as well if your bank won't allow you to do this. So for example, Monzo does this, and another app that I use for my lifetime ISA, I don't actually use it for Save the Change, but I use it for my lifetime ISA, is Moneybox, that will also do the same and can actually invest your money, invest your pennies. Like, I know it's not a lot, but yeah, that's an option. Also Plum is another one that will allow you to do the same thing. Tip number two is using a current account as a savings account. Again, this is something that I currently do. So for those who see my last video, I use Nationwide as a savings account. It's not the account that I use on a day-to-day basis, but I use Nationwide as a savings account. And the reason for that is because you find that sometimes with a current account, the interest rates might be a lot better than a actual savings account, or they might be a lot more competitive, so it's worth searching around. So I remember that when I was getting my Nationwide current account, I looked up, and at the time it had the best interest rates. I think it was 5% on money up to £2,500 in your account for 12 months. Tip number three is one that really gets me annoyed because I didn't do it sooner. Like, I knew about it a long time ago, but I just never did it, and I don't know why. But it is basically cashback apps such as Quidco or TOPCASHBACK. So I use both of them. The main one that I use is Quidco, but I use TOPCASHBACK as well because I will compare the cashback percentage that you will get for shopping. So if you do shop online, this is for you, I'm talking to you, so make sure you get Quidco. What I'm going to do actually is in the description box put a little referral link to join Quidco, and what happens with that is if you get cashback of up to £5, I'll get a little something back as well. And it is not a promotion or anything like that, it's just something that I've got on the app that I can use to refer other people to use Quidco. So I'll do that below, and if you want to use it, go right ahead. I'll be really grateful. Thank you if you're going to do that, but if not, that's fine. But just make sure you are using Quidco or TOPCASHBACK to save money, because you're getting money back for spending your money. You can't lose that way. Sometimes with it will just be pennies. So for example, if you use it to buy a coach ticket or a train ticket with Trainline or National Express, it will just be pennies. But at the end of the day, pennies add up to pounds, pounds add up to no, that's not right. Pennies add up to pounds, pounds add up to hundreds of pounds. So it's well worth doing because you won't even notice it, but essentially it's almost like you're spending a little bit less than you actually pay for something because you get that cashback back. It might take a few months before you see the cashback, but it will be there. What I have done in the past is use the money to fund our date night, and I remember we had £70 just a few months ago actually, and we used that for a date night where we went out, had a nice meal, and it was basically paid for. It paid for itself. I love stuff like that. Yeah, so you can use it to treat yourself or to do whatever, but yeah, it's just really nice to have. So that's one thing that I would recommend. Another one which is similar to what I've just said is a money back bank account. So again, Lloyds does this, I know Barclays does this, I know Santander does this, but the retailers that what you'll find on the money back bank accounts are more limited in comparison to what you find on Quidco or TOPCASHBACK. Quidco and TOPCASHBACK have literally like a range of things, such as you can get your car insurance on there, you can get your home insurance on there, you can get your utilities on there, you can shop at ASOS on there, stuff like that. Whereas with your money back bank account, it's only select few things. Some things you don't actually ever use, but yeah, it's worth activating it. And if you're going to go to the shop, you pay for something, you will get your money back for that. So this is for people that love going out. So I know we haven't really been going out much in the pandemic, but if you have been going out in the past, or if you're still going out, it is worth, maybe if you do this, say you go out with a huge group of friends, is avoiding doing rounds. Now this is something that I really just don't like doing, because rounds can get very, very expensive. And for someone like me who doesn't really drink as much as everybody else or as quick as everybody else, it can end up being very expensive for no real reason. So for example, if I say I'm going to spend £30 tonight, end up doing rounds, you can end up spending like £60 to £70, sometimes even in the hundreds, because you know, sometimes when you're out, you get a little bit overexcited, a little bit credit card happy, you start buying everybody drinks, buying this stranger a drink, buy this stranger a drink. It just adds up. But yeah, so I avoid rounds if and when I can, because they can get very, very expensive and it's just very unnecessary. If you want to do it, I'm just giving tips, but yeah, rounds can get very, very expensive. Another thing that I do, so this is tip number, I've lost count, I think this is tip number 6. This is another one for if you're going out. It is only drinking bottles on a night out, and this is because bottles last a lot longer than a spirit and a mixer in a glass. They go down a lot less smoothly, and you'll find that you'll drink a lot less in the time that you're out than you would if you had a spirit and a mixer. As the night goes on, you end up spending less than you normally would. So I would buy bottles. I know there's sometimes the selection of bottles isn't that great when you're out, but if it's something that you can do, then do that. Tip number 7 is only taking out the amount of money that you need for whatever activity you're going to be doing. So this can be, if you're going out for a meal, make sure you look at the menu beforehand and just take out what you need. If you're going to go for, I don't know, drinks somewhere, only take out the money that you need and only spend that. Once that money is gone, it's gone. You just have to be strict with yourself and just remember that, okay, so my money is gone, I don't want to spend any more, so I can't do very much else. If you want to save money, sometimes you do have to be a little bit strict with yourself. I've lost count of the numbers now, but the next one I want to say is literally taking the fun out of going out for a meal with your friends or whatever, but it is eating before you go for a meal, which means that if you eat before, you'll buy less when you're out. You might get a smaller meal just to tide you over for the time that you're out, or you might just definitely not have a 3-course meal, for example. Like, let your friends have their lobsters and their, I don't know, whatever else they want to get, but you just have your tiny little meal. Like, if you're full, you're full, you're good. Now, I know some people don't necessarily want to do that, but you don't have to take any of this advice or any of these suggestions, and that's fine, but that is something that you could do. I also find that sometimes when you've planned a meal, it can go on a lot later than the actual planned time, and at that point you get hungry, so you end up maybe snacking a little bit, and eventually you just won't eat as much when you're out. Money saved. That's all I'm saying. Another good tip is just to plan ahead. If you're going to do things like this where you are going out, just plan ahead, and that way you know that, okay, I don't really want to spend too much, this is what I'm going to do, these are my limits, and that way you're staying on top of your savings. I'm going to say this is tip number 9. Tip number 9 is searching around for places that are doing like meal deals. Now, I'm not talking like a Tesco meal deal, I'm talking about 2 for 1 or buy one get one free, or half price deals. So if you do this, you can find that on weeknights in comparison to weekends, a lot of places will tend to be cheaper, and that is something that you can think about. If you do a lot of date nights, maybe switch your date night to a weeknight instead of having a date night on the weekends. If you're paying full price for something but there's 2 of you, you're actually only paying half price if you're splitting the costs. Tip number 10 is a SIM-only contract. Now, I spoke about this before because for some reason I seem to be very passionate about this. Again, this gets me really annoyed because I don't know why I didn't switch to a SIM-only contract sooner. Well, actually I do. It's because when you're on the phone to your phone provider, they'll be there trying to make you buy the latest phone, and then it sounds too good and you're like, okay, I'll get it. When you actually don't want it, then you're like, damn it, I've just gone into another contract. But yes, switch to a SIM-only contract. It will save you a lot of money. I was paying £36 for like 30 gigabyte of data. I am now paying £14 for unlimited data, which is crazy to me that this is even available, because why would I, if my phone works just fine, why would I keep getting a new phone every single year? Like right now I'm filming on my phone, it's doing a great job, I've had it for a couple of years now, still works, and yeah, I've cut down a lot on having a SIM only contract. Little top tip that I'll give you is when you are searching for a SIM-only contract, maybe try looking around the Christmas time, because they tend to have a lot of cheaper deals, but also do it on Quidco or TOPCASHBACK because you will get cashback for it. I recently just got, I think it was £52 or £56 back for switching from a phone contract to a SIM-only contract, which has really, really helped me. So yeah, I had £52 that I just got a cashback. It's great. Now, tip number 11 is bulk buying. Now, this is something that I really, really enjoy, just because I like going to like wholesalers in general, but also bulk buying saves you going back to the shop every so often. And what happens when you keep going back to shops is obviously you end up buying stuff that you don't need. A place that I need to actually avoid going is B&M, because I tend to go in there, and when I get there it's B&M telling me what to buy instead of me going there with like a plan. I just end up buying unnecessary stuff, which seems so legit at the time. But I love B&M, don't get me wrong, like one of my favorite shops along with Home Bargains, but I need to avoid them because they are the places that I tend to buy stuff I don't need. One day I will learn. But yeah, anyway, when it comes to food shops, for example, I shop in Aldi, sometimes Lidl, but Aldi is the closest shop to me, so I'll shop in Aldi because it's cheaper. I know that a lot of times you can't get everything that you want in Aldi, so people will prefer to go to a shop that's a little bit more expensive, like Tesco, where you can get everything rather than having to go to 2 different shops. But for me, that's not something that bothers me. But I'll shop in places like Aldi or Lidl that are slightly cheaper. And then if I need something specific, say cheese, I will go to, I'm lactose intolerant, I will go to Tesco, just get only the cheese, do the bulk of my shopping or the majority of my shopping in Aldi, then go to Tesco, get my lactose-free cheese, and that's my shopping done. But yeah, bulk buying really helps. And also another little hint is, do not go food shopping when you are hungry. Honestly, it's one of the worst ideas, just because you end up buying stuff that you don't need because your eyes are bigger than your stomach. I learned this last week. But yeah, don't go shopping for food when you're hungry, because you end up wanting to buy the whole shop and you'll realize that you actually, yes, you're hungry, but you're not that hungry. So yeah, go shopping on a full stomach. So if sometimes I want to buy from places like Tesco, I will wait for my coupon, my money off coupon, to come through because I've got a Tesco club card, and that's when I will go to a place like Tesco, because essentially it might give me a coupon of like £3 off or £4 off if you spend £30. So if it's like a £4 off coupon, then obviously if I spend £30, I'm actually only paying 26. So that is when I will actually go to places like Tesco, but I try and avoid those expensive shops just in the meantime while I'm trying to save, because they can be a lot more expensive. So what you pay in Aldi for like £30 will be like £60 in Tesco most of the time. So yeah. Tip number 12 is avoid express shops. Now, express shops are expensive for a reason, because if you're desperate for something, they're convenient, they're there, you will buy stuff from there. But a lot of the time you might not need to. Only go to them like, yeah, I guess if you're really desperate, but avoid them for like a full-on shop, because they're very expensive, because they know that if someone's desperate for something and they need something desperately, they will get that. But a lot of the time some of the prices can be like double what you can get from a superstore. So yeah, I would avoid express shops if you can, just because they can tend to be quite expensive, and we're not here for that. So that was in this video I've done about 12 tips. I'm gonna save the rest of my tips for another video which will be coming out very soon, so keep an eye out for that. But that one will involve how to save money over Christmas, how to save money over the holidays, and how to save money over the next few months. If there is anything that I've said in this video that you already do, let me know. If there is stuff that you're actually going to pick up that you don't currently do, let me know. But yeah, please look out for my next video and make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'm so grateful for anyone who's subscribed so far, and thank you to anyone who's commenting, liking and sharing as well. But I will see you guys on my next video.